everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Gaming with Maverick. Today, I'm interviewing TabTwice, a very prominent Minecraft streamer. Just an all-around awesome person. A really good stream, very well put together, very engaging with the community. Quality streamer. We have a phenomenal interview, and then we play some Minecraft dungeons. So, yeah, let's get into that, and make sure you stick around at the end. I have an announcement about the podcast, and now we're going to have some excerpts from the original interview that didn't make it into the show, but if you stick around to the post-credits, you can listen to some casual conversations we were having. So yeah, awesome. Let's get into this, guys. What can you tell me about your username and your logo?
So the username dates back to when I was back in high school, and taking a keyboarding class. So it goes back to the old-fashioned formatting when the teacher would be up front and they would tell you, make sure you put in your address, and then you need to make sure you hit tab twice in between that and the heading. And everyone in class just thought that was super, super cute and funny. And everyone in class would reach up and just, hit tab twice. And because my name is Tabitha, I guess I should have said that, but everybody calls me Tab. So it was just a silly nickname from high school. And then the logo, the handwritten one that I have, is when I was, this was before I even started streaming. So this was probably 3 or 4 years ago. I was working a desk job, and my husband was the one who kind of started bringing up the idea of like, yeah, you ever thought about streaming? And I was like, well, what is that? And, he started showing me Twitch and things like that. And so that idea started bouncing around in my head. And one day at work, I was just kind of like doodling, because then he was like, well, what would you call yourself? And that was something easy. I just wanted an easy name that, wasn't super over the top, no numbers, just something simple. And that was it. And then I just doodled that one day at work, and I took a picture of it and I sent it to him, and I was like, how about something like this? And then, I just kind of went from there.
Well, that's pretty awesome. Yeah, the name, it relates to computers in some way, so it's kind of goofy, but it's cool.
Right, exactly. So it kind of worked out, yeah.
So where are you from?
I was raised here in the Midwest. I was born on the West Coast out in California, and my family we moved to Ohio when I was like about 5 or 6, and then we only lived there for a year or two, and then we moved to I grew up in a smaller town in southern Indiana, less than 1,000 people. We had no stoplights, and it was very, very small. And then about 6 years ago, I moved. It didn't go far. I came up here. I'm in Indianapolis now, but this is big city to me.
Right. Yeah, I guess that could be a big change.
Yeah, we have highways and stoplights. What are these things? No, I love it here, though, and I don't think I'd ever go back.
Well, that's cool. So do you just stream, or do you make other content as well?
For right now, I primarily stream. So I used to, when I first started streaming, I did it very part-time and just whenever I felt like it, because I was working as well. And then I started working part-time and taking streaming a little more seriously. And then a little over a year ago, about April of 2019, I decided to fully commit, and I quit my job, and I stream 5 days a week, 6 hours a day. And I have started a little bit of YouTube stuff, but nothing significant. It's more I'm just trying to kind of get a handle on video editing. So I've just been putting together just some fun, silly, like clip videos just to get some practice in. But yeah, no, my only content right now is on Twitch. I'd like to do podcasting and stuff like that, kind of like what you have here, which is, I think it's amazing. I love podcasts. I spend hours listening to multiple podcasts, so I always think it's really fun. So that's something in the future I would like to possibly do, but no, as of right now, it's just Twitch and the occasional trashy YouTube video.
I understand. I do way too much now. So I'll give you a little background on the podcast. This kind of evolved from many other things. I started my own podcast last summer, and that evolved into a podcast network. So I was producing, managing, advertising, marketing other shows. as well as, you know, hosting and editing my own show. And then
Wow.
and then I got a little more into streaming. And I was like, hey, maybe I could do some sort of streaming podcast where I interview streamers.
Hmm.
So now I have 2 podcasts, a YouTube channel, a gaming guild that I manage, and my own personal like company that I have to run.
Oh my goodness.
I just,
How do you?
it's
My question for you then is, when do you find free time?
most of the stuff that I do for it is my free time. I
Oh
enjoy
my
it enough
goodness.
that it doesn't really feel like work, but
That's awesome.
you know, everything I do
I think
turns
that's
into content.
yeah. That's the dream. I mean, if you can make it pleasurable and work and pleasure at the same time, I mean, heck yeah,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
So how long have you been streaming?
About a little over 2 years. Like I was saying earlier, I took it real casually, so it's kind of funny. I had no idea what streaming, like, by nature, I'm not really a computer or gamer person at all. And I don't know, my husband just randomly one day was like, 'cause I started getting into Minecraft and I started playing a lot of that. And then he was like, you ever thought about doing it online? Because I'm a pretty social person by nature.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, you ought to consider streaming. And he was like, you should stream on Twitch. And I was like, what's that? Is that like a porn site or something weird? Because the name Twitch, like, that was where my brain went. He's like, no, you idiot. He's like, come on, no, it's this. And then I pulled it up and, yeah, I went to like the Minecraft category and yeah, I watched a couple of folks and I was like, oh, okay, so this is what it is. This is really cool. Like, it was really, and then I just did it. I bought a cheap little camera. I think I spent like $50 on my camera. I had a $20 headset with a microphone on it and Minecraft, and that was it. And that's how I started. I just did it.
Just jumped right in.
Yeah, and then 2 years later, this is what I do full time. If you would have asked me that was going to be the thing, no way, never in a million years. It's crazy, but just, I know people always ask me like, how do you do it? What's the advice you would give? And I'm like, just try not to give up. It's literally just a grind, network and grind. Those are the key factors.
Do you have a favorite streamer out of all of those names that you just named?
I know, that's so hard. I have people ask me that as well. There's not one person in particular because like I said, with the way that I got into it, being that I just turned on Twitch and I was like, oh, I'll just go, because if I stream, it would probably be Minecraft. So I just went and I just grabbed, there's the one girl that I watched, her name was Acoustic, and she was a partnered streamer, and I watched her mostly, and she was the one that I kind of modeled. And it's really funny because now I just a couple weeks ago got invited into the verified team, which is all verified Twitch streamers that are part of they're on a Minecraft server, and she's on there. And it's so exciting to think, oh my gosh, you were the first person that I watched, and now I'm on a server with you. It's really exciting. But no, as far as having a favorite, I have many different people that I respect and I like, and it just depends on what I want to watch, kind of thing. I love a lot of different people's. I go from very calm, family friendly material to heavy metal, trash mouth, trash talking. Like,
Yeah.
it just depends on my mood. But there's a lot of people. I mostly like the 240p community. I love the Psycraft guys when they're streaming. I love hanging out with them as well. A lot of the Hermit Crafters are amazing. They're an amazing community. I love watching all of them. So, no, sadly, I don't have one. I have many. Can recommend, yes.
Well,
There's
that's
too many.
always good. That's a good way to, not make anybody upset.
Well, it does seem like a cop-out. I do get that. But I mean, there's so many good content creators out there. It really is tough. Because I meet new people every day, and I'll watch their stream and be like, oh my gosh, they're so good. Like, you can just tell. There's some people that you tune in, and within a couple minutes, you're like, okay, this person really has a passion for what they're doing. and that is what draws me in. If I watch you, I don't care your production value. You could have the top quality everything on your stream, but if I don't feel that you love what you're doing, I'm out. And that's me, though. That's my personal opinion. But I mean, it doesn't matter if you're streaming from a low quality PC, and stuff. But if you're very passionate about what you're doing and you're really connected to your community, and you can tell that people really love you and stuff, I'm in. I'm sold. But that's me. That's the kind of content that I like to consume. So, but there's a lot of people out there like that. That's why it's so hard to be like, oh, I like this person. Oh, but what about this one? It's like, don't ask me my favorite band. Don't put me on that spot. I can't tell you that either. What's your favorite song? Oh, get out of here.
Yeah, I have the same problem when people ask me, oh, what's your favorite type of music? I'm like, I like all music. What do you mean?
Yeah, I know. That I mean, I could probably tell you what I don't like faster than I could of what I do like, to be honest.
Yeah. So if you want to plug any social media or your Twitch account, you're more than welcome to.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's pretty straightforward. Twitch is TabTwice. Same thing with my Twitter. I do have Twitter. I do have Instagram as well. If you just TabTwice for all of those. I'm not as active as on my social media as I should be. I'm blaming it on my generation. I swear to God. I'm like, I miss that. I miss that. Social media became a thing after high school for me. So, but I do have it. And I do post occasionally. But no, Twitch. TabTwice at Twitch.
Well,
come join the party. It's something.
Yeah. It's. I tell this to people a lot. It's really good to have, the same username or at least something extremely similar on all your accounts, so it's super easy for people to find you.
Oh yeah, no, I was really lucky because, to be honest, when you try to go with like a simple name, it seems like most of the time they're already taken. So that's why a lot of people are putting, numbers, letters, hashtag, whatever, underscores. And I understand that they have to do that, but I got so lucky. So every time there's some new platform, I jump on it and I try to grab my name, even if I'm not going to use it. Just because I'm like, oh gosh, I don't want to have to fight that later. I'm just going to grab it. Yeah, no, I got really lucky. Yep, TabTwice everywhere. That's me.
Well, that's awesome. Thank you for letting me barrage you with questions.
Oh my gosh, my pleasure. Thanks for having me. This is exciting.
Of course. So that was TabTwice. Thank you for coming on. I really appreciate you being on. Let me interview you and barrage you with questions. You were a phenomenal guest, and I love playing Minecraft Dungeons. I'm now addicted to it. So, if you stick around till after the post roll, there will be some of the other questions I asked her, kind of like some extra stuff and some conversations we had about video games and whatnot. But in the future, this episode, this show, the Gaming with Maverick podcast, of course, will always air on the Skullshot Gaming YouTube channel. However, from now on, the interviews will be held on my own personal Twitch stream. That is twitch.tv/Maverick_SSGG. The reason for that is I want to really engage our audience, and we can take Q&As from the listeners live. So definitely go follow me on there if you want to be part of that. We'll be interviewing somebody almost every Wednesday at 6 p.m. Thanks, guys, and I will see you next week. Peace.
It's classic. Can't go wrong. First rage quit.
I love asking that question because it gives me kind of an insight to like the era that people first got into like video games and things. So I've had everything from, Galactica and Pole Position to Pokemon. So it's it's just so interesting hearing people's answers. And
yeah, I remember I would go with my dad to arcades, and he was really big. I always say, people say it different ways, Galaga or Galaga.
Yeah.
With which I don't know what's the proper. I hear people say it both ways. Galaga.
I say Galaga, but there's also
Do you?
Galactica, which is basically the same exact game, but from a different company.
Right. No, it's not. I know it's not Galactica, but no, the original Galaga. I remember my dad just taking like rolls of quarters, and I'd sit there and
Yeah.
watch him play that game. And then when the PlayStation came out, and you could get those old Namco, and it had all the old games on it,
Yeah.
and Galaga was on there, and my dad would just he hit over 1 million points. I watched him just hours.
Wow.
He would memorize it. Yeah, I've never seen it before. That he always played that. And see, I always enjoyed watching people play games, honestly, more than playing them myself. We had a Genesis, and I used to really like to play Sonic. And the Lion King game, that's another rage quit game. Oh my God. Oh yeah. If you look it up, honestly, that old Lion King game is noted to be one of the most like tough games of its time. And I don't know why, but I remember being like, oh, that game, that controller went flying numerous times on that game. I quit. But yeah, my dad used to play like Duke Nukem. Oh my gosh, I was way too young to be watching, a guy give these strippers money. But there were a lot of video games in my house. I watched more than I played, but I remember a lot of them. But yeah, no, Duck Hunt, to go back to the original, to circle all the way back around. Sorry, that was a long process.
No, that's okay.
Duck.
That's a great answer. It's a good game too. They should really bring that one back, huh?
I know. I'd shoot that dog. That stupid dog. Man, he made me mad. Oof. I remember just being a little kid, just full of rage, like, that dog? My brother would just laugh. I was like, I hate him.
Understandable.
Yeah.
So what are you hoping to gain from streaming?
Oh, I think I've gained like more than I could ever. To be honest, and I'm not even anybody really, but the experiences that I have just been amazing. The things and the people I've met and the things that are going on. I mean, I'm kind of already living it in a way. I thought when I first started, it was just casual. It was for fun, just to kind of try something new. But now, I mean, I have the freedom to do this full time. I mean, it basically replaced my part-time job. So I do it full time, but it replaced the part-time job. So I guess the dream would be is eventually to be in a comfortable spot where I don't ever have to keep kind of looking over my shoulder of like, I may have to go back to work. I may have to pick up a part-time job. I think that's what most people would love, but I am in that spot now where I can do this, and it's okay. But maybe in a couple years, it would be nice to not have to think like that. But yeah, no, it's where I'm at though. Even if I had to give it up tomorrow, I would never be disappointed in what I've achieved, to be honest. Like if everything just died tomorrow, my computer and everything, and I just couldn't do it, and I had to go back to work full time, I would never look back and be disappointed in any of it, honestly. So everything is a bonus, I guess. Does that make sense? Like, because my bar was so low. Yeah, I set my bar so low, and then everything that's just happened, I don't know, it's very exciting. I love it. Every day it's so exciting. Every time I turn on that camera and I hit go live, I get very excited for the day and the stream and who I get to talk to and who I get to meet, and who knows what's going to happen today. It's fun.
Well, that's awesome. But here's the last real question. Do you remember the first video game you ever played?
Ooh, yes. My first memories were, so I was born in the mid 80s. So when I was little, we had ye old Nintendo, just an OG Nintendo, and I remember when I did get a chance to play, because I have an older brother and my dad, and they were very dominant over it, but sometimes I got to play Duck Hunt, and that dog would piss me off so bad. And I would get so mad at that stupid dog that would laugh at me when I'd miss the ducks. And that was my first rage quit. And I'd throw the little fake gun down. I'm like, that's it. I don't like this game.
Oh,
but yeah, that was
awesome.
Good old Duck Hunt. Yeah, that was my first.